Hey guys, welcome to the program. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, December 11th, and I am technically challenged, but that's okay. That's okay. It's good to be with you guys. Apparently, Meta is down. Facebook and Instagram are down right now. So if you think you're locked out of your account or you're trying to post something and it's not going through, that's the reason. It's not going through right now. They have those glitches from time to time, and people love to blow my phone up and ask me about it like I'm the meta expert. I'm not. I'm not. I just know when things aren't posting. I'm glad you guys are with us today. Got some fun stuff to talk about, some interesting stuff. The world's gone crazy. We're going to make fun of it a little bit. We know that everything that goes woke does go broke, but yet people keep still choosing to go woke, and it's fascinating to me how they cave. They cave to the woke mob, and they go that direction. Behind me, you'll see another unmade bed. This one is not mine, though. I'm actually in Steve Helms's hotel room in lovely Las Vegas, if you want to call it lovely. Um, I had to check out of my room. Didn't get kicked out. Had to check out of my room because I fly to Tulsa this evening, I should say, and I will be in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Through the weekend, we're going to do Side Splitters Comedy Club there in Wesley Chapel Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Get your tickets, watchchad.com. Come hang out with us. And then next weekend, we're going to be in St. Cloud, Florida. And then we'll round out the year in Tyler, Texas for New Year's Eve. Watchchad.com. Check out my schedule coming up for 2025. It's a good one. I'm being real selective about where I go um, because I don't want to. We got some big announcements, big things happening. We're busy. And before we get into those big announcements, I want to tell you guys to head over to magicmind.com. I have fallen in love with Magic Mind. Magic Mind is it's a shot that it's a little it's a few ounces of a drink there, and you take that thing and drink that sucker, and after about 3 days, you're a new person. After 7 days, your life is transformed. It's got 12 super ingredients, clinically proven to support a sharper mind, lower stress, and better energy. Who doesn't want that? It is clean energy, folks. It's like how folks will stop drinking alcohol and then after about a week they feel like their brain just works again. This is the way this is going to make you feel, and it's got all the stuff that normally you're taking in a handful of supplements, but you just drink it. And they tell you they want you to do the 7 day challenge. I did the 7 day challenge, and trust me, it is a daily part of my life and routine now. It's going to get rid of your procrastination and your laziness. It's going to crush that brain fog, and it's going to make you mentally sharp and motivated and help you improve that focus that we all need. So trust me, my mind has got a lot on it, and Magic Mind is making a huge difference. So go over to magicmind.com/Chad and tell them I sent you. Magicmind.com/Chad. Use the /Chad on the end of it because we want to know where they want to know where their folks are coming from, and we want them to know that they're coming from our show. So go over there, check them out, magicmind.com/Chad, and order some. I promise you're going to love this stuff. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Let's bring on producer Royce Chamberlain. Oh, Royce.
What's up?
How are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. It's rainy. It's a bit of a rainy day here in Tampa, Florida, so everything's kind of doomy, gloomy, but that's all right.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm ready to get there. I'm ready to hang out with you this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And also, I miss being in a studio. I miss being in my studio. So, inevitably when you're on the road and you travel, I bring my camera, I bring my laptop, I bring my microphone, all that stuff, but I did not bring the interface that gives the microphone power. So the first thing I'm doing when I get off of an airplane early tomorrow morning is I'm going to go buy an audio interface so we can have decent audio on this show, even though I'm doing it from a hotel room. So, do we
Well,
want
you
to?
still sound you sound good, Chad. You sound good.
Man, you ain't got to lie to kick it. You ain't got to lie to kick it. I
I
don't look.
lying. You sound good.
I don't look good. Look at the bags under these eyes, man. This is what Vegas does. I mean, for 52, I'll take it. For 52, I'll take it. The sleep is not great out here. It dries you out. So back over my shoulder in Steve's room, because he's got to sing every day. I performed with him for an hour and a half last night. I had to apologize to people because I have no voice. It's so dry out here. He's got a humidifier over here that's spitting. So if you think the room's on fire, if you see that stuff rising behind my shoulder, it's not on fire. You had a literal alarm that went off this morning during the Dear
Dude.
America show with Graham Allen. What did your building catch on fire? What happened with that deal?
So what ended up happening? Well, I'll give the audience a little rundown, really quick rundown of what happened. Essentially, mid-show, my fire alarm starts going off, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like the normal, beep beep. It was like a consistent beep.
Oh, it
It
was
was
brutal.
beep. It was like someone died in the hospital room. Okay, I was like, "What is rapture? Like, what's going on?" So I'm like, I pause my stuff and I go and I'm like ripping uh, uh, fire alarms out of my ceiling and it's not turning off. I'm like, what is going on? So I open my front door and the whole building was beeping. Outside of the building, you could hear it. It's like sirens were going off. I really thought it may have been the rapture at that point. I'm like, because you go outside and you still hear it. I'm like, what? Am I going crazy? So I go downstairs. Everybody's evacuated the building. And to make a long story short, one of the vacant units, their fire alarm went off for no reason, and nobody was there to turn it off. So it ended up like activating the whole building as if it was on fire. It was nothing. It just decided to go off or whatever, and
That's so,
everybody was freaking out. But everything's fine now. I still got to put those fire alarms back in my ceiling.
that's the problem because when they start beeping and it's time to change the batteries, I'm notorious for taking them off the ceiling and never putting them back. So when you come to my house and you are going to come because we got to talk about scheduling that so you can come take a look at my studio. We got to
Yes,
rewire some
sir.
things. You'll see fire alarms. You'll see smoke alarms all over the
Just
house.
on
So
tables, on
yeah,
corners, just ripped down.
yeah, there's like three of them right there in the studio. You'll see. You'll see. I want to get into some stuff, but do we want to talk about the major announcement now, or what do we want to
It's
do?
up to you, man. Do you wanna like ease them into it? Like, hey, there's an announcement coming up. Stick
There is
around.
an announcement. More people tends to be more people are on the show later in the show than are early. But we made a huge announcement this morning on Graham Allen's show, and let's talk about that in a little bit. Some of you, if you were tuned in, you already know what's going on. But it's really cool. We've been threatening this announcement for a little while, saying some big things were coming up in 2025, and they are. So it's going to be really cool. Change is good. Change is good. I just got off. I'll tell you who I got off the phone with. I'll tell you how my day has been since I saw you last on Graham's show. Um,
Let's hear it.
I've been on the phone with my therapist. My therapist, Trevor Wilkins, is the best dude in the world. He's the Viking therapist. If you're on Instagram, Viking therapist, look him up. Trevor Wilkins. He's out of Lexington, Kentucky. And this dude has heard more of my crap. I think you should have those friends, those people in your life that give you those mental checks. And sometimes I get like like for instance, I've been frustrated. Our prathertees.com the site is down right now because we've had printing issues, we've had shipping issues. We got 20 people that are missing a bulk package, mailings that went out, and so people are irate when they buy their stuff. They want it by Christmas, and it's not showing up, and the postal service just sucks. And so, Cindy, she's working her butt off trying to get everything done. So I took frustration out on her yesterday, and then CJ took frustration out on her yesterday. And I'm like, I'm tired of taking my frustrations out on people. So anyway, I reached out to the Viking therapist. So if you're a man out there, if you're an alpha male, he specializes in that. He deals a lot with veterans and first responders and stuff like that, and people have just really seen some stuff. So my stuff is puny compared to the stuff he deals with, and he ain't paying me, or he doesn't even know I'm talking about him. But I've been on the phone with him. He's so helpful to me, dude. So anyway, he's helping getting me straight. He's getting me straight. I don't know if it's possible, but he's getting me straight. I think everybody needs some mental help because the world has gone mentally insane. I mentioned earlier people that go woke. I've never paid attention to the WNBA. I don't think anybody's ever paid attention to the WNBA. And suddenly, Caitlin Clark comes along and puts the WNBA on the map, right? The WNBA, of course, is the Women's National Basketball Association. And nobody watches it. Nobody listens to it. Nobody goes to the games. It has to be funded by the NBA. It is not a money-making venture because people just don't want to watch women play basketball most of the time, okay? Caitlin Clark brought an excitement to the game. She received a bunch of hate simply because she's white, and there were a lot of people out there who didn't like a white woman being the face of the WNBA, okay? Well, poor Caitlin, I hoped that she was going to stand strong. I hoped that she would, but she's not. She caved to the woke mob. She posted an interview, posted a video where basically she's apologizing for her white privilege. I mean, I can't people, man. Caitlin Clark, she bends the knee to the woke mob, says white people have privilege. I'm looking for mine. Like I really am looking for privilege, trying to find it. It's not in my pocket. Do you have any, Royce? I mean, have you found any?
No, I've not found any.
I messaged the Hodge twins the other day, and I said, "Man, I gotta buy some more of those. I gotta get some more of those race cards, and the white privilege cards that they used to sell at their shows." And so anyway, I'm trying to figure out, where this white privilege. So, everybody, if you want to, you just got to be white, man. You don't have any problems if you're white skinned. Okay. There's no problems. There's no stress. There's no anxious, no depression, no anxiety. Nothing ever goes wrong. That's the white privilege. So here she is. She's bent the knee to the DEI woke mob. Okay. So go over there to Colin Rugg's tweet real quick. He posted this over on X, where he said that Caitlin Clark says she's got white privilege in her Time Athlete of the Year piece, says the WNBA is built on black players. As quoted by Time, Clark says she earned her success, but says she has privilege because she's white. Clark says she now wants to help elevate black players. I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. The league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate and highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Listen, whatever. This stuff is such nonsense that these people do. Those of you need to type elevate in the chat. If you're in the live chat, just type elevate. Put that big long multiple syllable word in there. Elevate. So see if people can spell. We want to elevate black women today. That's our main goal. We've all got that white privilege, so let's make sure that we elevate black women. These women are they're pretty wealthy. They're in the 1% of our population. They get to play professional sports. They're statistically above everybody else in terms of athletics. But let's make sure that we continue to elevate their voices and black women. Elevate. I don't care about your skin color. I never have cared about your skin color. It doesn't bother me one single bit. I played sports. I spent a lot of time in hotel rooms, sharing beds with the same, with ball players that had all different colors. So it never crossed our mind, right? Never crossed our mind. This idea that we've got to elevate melanin in our skin tones is ridiculous to me. But obviously, she caved. I was afraid of this, and she caved. She went down this road. And it's like, just dribble the ball, put it in the basket. Let's play sports. And yeah, I mean, the WNBA, I guess you could say it's been built on black women because the NBA and the WNBA predominantly tends to be black people playing in the sport. But again, I wouldn't say the WNBA has built anything. They operate at a loss. If it wasn't for the NBA, they wouldn't have anything. Royce, have you ever even watched a WNBA game? Do you care about it?
Never in my life.
Never.
Nor do I care to. I have zero interest. I don't watch sports in general too much. We talked about that this morning. Yeah. But I mean, it's not because they're women. I just don't have an interest in watching it. Even more so now. And my biggest issue with this whole thing, with any race talk, especially when it comes to sports, because they're like, oh, this and that, it's because I'm black, it's because I'm white. White privilege, whatever. Why does it have to be about any race at all? Why can't it just be this player is good? Yeah. These players built the sport. Why does it have to be black women built the sport? Yeah. White women are doing this. Black women are doing that. I think when you bring in the subject of race at all, it ruins it. I think if you bring race, politics, anything along those lines, gender, into sports, right? When you start changing genders and all that stuff, it ruins it. Keep it out. It's for entertainment. You do not have to bring serious issues. Racism is not a good thing. Nobody likes racism, but the more you talk about it, the longer it'll exist. Yeah. The more you make it a big deal, the more amplified it's going to be. Just take it out. remove it, and it removes the issue.
Yeah. And again, when you start making certain things, we were talking about that on Graham's show this morning. When you start making things where you can't talk about things like yesterday's episode where we were talking about the arrest of Luigi Mangione in the United Healthcare shooting. We couldn't put that episode on YouTube. We couldn't keep it on YouTube because we're going to be censored so bad. When we live in a day and age where words have become dangerous, where words, things like misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech, in a free market of ideas, in society where free speech is real, there's no such thing as hate speech. There should be critical thinking. The critical thinking and common sense is how you that's how you get rid of disinformation. If you have common sense or critical thinking skills, you know when somebody's telling you a lie. You can put two and two together and you can figure it out. You shouldn't make words illegal, right? So my point is, when you're capitalizing on non-issues, whether it is language or skin color or gender or sexuality or sexual preference, orientation of any kind like that, things that ultimately, these tangible things that people see, these physical attributes, when you play those identity politics, it's a house of cards that eventually falls in on itself because there's no focus on character, there's no focus on integrity, there's no focus on skill, there's no focus on ability. I don't watch the WNBA because women's basketball sucks. I'll be fair, I don't watch the NBA either because I don't care about basketball. But I know the difference in the quality of the sport. Women's basketball compared to the men's basketball absolutely sucks. I don't want to watch women play baseball. I don't want to watch women play football. I mean, they have these leagues out there, right? I mean, I know you got fast pitch softball. And let me just say, I can't hit. I played baseball at a very high level. Every now and then people would get me in these fast pitch softball leagues. I couldn't hit it. I mean, I couldn't. Mad respect to you.
You know what I will watch though is women's boxing, because that fight right before Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, that was so much better than the men fighting. That was the best. Same with UFC. I've seen women fight in the UFC. Women fighting is way more brutal than men fighting. I will say that above all sports, when they start swinging, it gets crazy, and it is entertaining. I must say.
Yeah, they want to kill each other. Women fight different than men.
They do.
They start snatching the weaves out, pulling the wigs off, and they go at each other with the teeth and the claws and the whole thing, man. And so, this racial division that's out there, the fact that you even have to have a conversation,
exactly,
it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to have that conversation. Listen, give somebody credit where it's due, right? I'll give you credit where it's due, but your skin color ain't where it's due. Like that's not something, businesses and sports and leagues, they're built on people that have high caliber quality attributes. Athleticism, you want to be top tier, right? I'm sorry, your skin color, and Caitlin Clark of all people should know this. She excels at this game. She's literally put this game on the map. And you know what? They hated her because of her skin color, because they couldn't stand the idea that a white woman became the face of the league. So again, it's reverse racism. Well, it's not reverse racism. It's just flat out racism. And then she's going to pander to it, which again feeds the very thing which has caused her to have conflict and abuse in her career. I mean, they've treated her like garbage on the court, right? Like absolute garbage on the court. I mean, they just busted her up. They went after her, targeted her, all because of her skin color. That's racism. That is racism. So anyway, insane. But I agree with you about the boxing match before the Paul Tyson fight. Those girls,
they were killing it, man.
Pummeling each other. But again, another example of just the woke mob. I'm going to bring this thing up in a minute. Before we do, I want to tell you again about my friends over at Patriot Mobile. Head over to patriotmobile.com or you can call them up, 972-PATRIOT. Call them on the phone. America's Christian conservative wireless provider. They're the only ones out there. They're the only Christian conservative wireless provider. If you're sick of, if you pay a bill with the big three that are out there, part of that bill is going to go to woke causes. It's going to go to things like Planned Parenthood. And the folks over at Patriot Mobile, they're going to make sure that they support your right to free speech, your Second Amendment rights. They're just freedom-loving, good folks over there. And they're going to take care of our active duty military, our veterans, and our first responder heroes out there. So, give them a shout, call them up. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone. They can help you get set up with a whole new deal, whole new phone, whole new number, whatever. And their coverage is carried by all the same cell towers that the big three are using, so you don't have to worry about that. But get over at patriotmobile.com/chat. Check them out. They're cool. They're cool. And rock and roll. Rock and roll. I see the comment there. Tell my son happy birthday from us. Yeah, today is my son's birthday. He is 18 years old. He's an adult. I got a notice today that said your son is now 18. This was from Cash App. It said, your son is now 18. He has to go in and verify his identity because he no longer basically has to be chaperoned on a cash, because I've sponsored his Cash App, right? He's an adult now. I have 4 human adults. Adult humans.
Wow.
I know.
I didn't know you had
Insane.
4 kids.
4. 27, 25, 20, and 18. And he's already got 3 college degrees. So it's crazy. It's
That's crazy, man.
I mean, it's just pure insanity. He's already got all these offers. He's been getting offers to go to these schools since he was 15 years old. Insane. But anyway, thank you for the shout out. Happy birthday. I've always tried to keep my kids private because I have a big following and people are crazy, and I keep as much about them as private as possible, and they prefer it that way. And so, a lot of stuff, I don't post a lot of pictures of my kids. I've had people over the years that say, oh, Chad, why don't you ever show your kids? They don't want to be shown. And I respect that. So that's pretty cool. They know who they are, and they don't need that kind of attention. But Google is, we know the Google overlords, man. They're incredibly woke. They're
I don't even want to show this image yet
I
because
don't
it's
want to
just
show
disturbing.
it either. I know, but you got to. We got to. It's brace yourself, folks, because Google has a new ad out. It's their Christmas ad, and anyway, yeah, you're right, Striker J, about Cash App. I get you on. I understand on that. They want to be able to tax you. They're going to try to do it every which way they can. All right, we got to do it. We got to do it, Royce. We have.
All right.
This is Google's Christmas ad because this is what sells information, I guess. Anyway, okay, look at this dude. First of all, when I see dudes doing this, women aren't that effeminate, okay? Like dudes who are trying to act feminine, they're way more effeminate than actual women are. So, all right. Let it rip. Play this clip. Here we go.
Here we go.
Boy, everybody brace yourself.
So dry. This winter dryness is not it, especially when I have so many holiday looks to pull off. Thankfully, I know just the thing. And it's in stock nearby. Hydrated skin is a gift to everyone. No wrapping needed. Happy holidays to me.
Help me, Jesus. Help me. Oh, man.
Listen, I gotta. Let me say this really, really quick. My job, okay, is to work with YouTube and Google and to help people make content, okay? It's especially hard when you're helping people like Graham and Chad who are in the political, conservative, Christian realm, because that's everything that Google hates. They hate Christian conservatives. They hate all those things. So it's difficult. And then they do crap like this, and I don't even want to do it. I want to tell you, I want to tell Graham, let's just delete it, man. Let's just get off of it because that...
I'm with you.
I'm sick and tired of it, man.
And the only reason I bring it up, is obviously it's easy for me to make a mockery of it. I think that we've gotten to this point where, again, we're elevating these things that really should never be mentioned. They should never be honored with our time and energy. But I guess for me, I want to remind people that this is what your kids are being exposed to. This is how they're indoctrinating a generation, and they're normalizing insanity. They're normalizing behavior that is not healthy. This is, I'm sorry, if I have identity issues to the point where it affects everything about my life, I need to get on the phone with my therapist. I need to get on the phone with Trevor Wilkins and be like, bro, my brain ain't working right. Like I'm not. There's something going on. There's a spectrum of insanity that I'm on here. And if I'm trying to normalize it, then, I mean, let's say I've got schizophrenia. Let's say I've got voices in my head. I'm hearing multiple personalities going on in there. You get help for stuff like that. If I try to normalize that as being okay, what if I decide, I'm in love with this lamp over here? People are doing this kind of crap, like falling in love, talking about they're getting married to inanimate objects, making love to their car. I mean, we've had this stuff, it pops out, the insanity. And then you're going to try to normalize certain behaviors. And it's like, no, sorry, that's not normal. That man acting that way ain't normal. People say, well, what's normal anymore? You know what's normal. You know what's normal. That ain't it, okay? And I'm not talking about idiosyncrasies. I'm not talking about quirks. I'm not talking about people's behaviors that fall within that spectrum of normal human behavior and decency. But this kind of stuff, I mean, really? You got a dude, shopping for perfume and skincare? Stop it. Stop it. This is not healthy. Not healthy. But I agree with you. I want to. He did have good skin, though. He did have some good skin.
Here's the thing. I think Facebook and Meta, I think it's coming around. They've talked about lifting up those things, making it more like X, where it's free speech.
Yeah.
Google is the only one that is stuck so strong to this crap. No matter what, they're still putting this stuff out there. And yeah, it makes me sick, and it makes me not want to deal with them.
They do it because there's no real alternatives. Like, you can use DuckDuckGo as a search engine, but they basically own the world. They run the world. I do wish that there was a tech thing out there that maybe was more free speech based, like a Elon Musk could build something like that. Somebody could build something like that had a little more driven by values, but they've just taken over the world. And as long as the deep state and the cabal and the elites and the Bilderbergers and the Illuminati and every other name, the Trilateral Commission, whatever's out there, these kind of things are going to stay. Because again, it keeps our brains in a state of just of ignorance and mush, and we never get to a point where that's why we've lost common sense and lost critical thinking, as I was saying earlier, because this kind of stuff is constantly being thrown in our faces, and we laugh at it, but we shouldn't be laughing at it, right? We laugh at these things, we launder these things, we legalize these things, and at some point in time, it's just at the end of the day, man, it's sin. Let's call it what it is. It is a selfish, independent negation of the will of God in people's lives, and we are praising sin, and I'm not down with that. I'm not okay with it. So, but that's the deal. As long as they're running that monopoly, we're going to have that stuff thrown in our face. And the thing that bothers me the most is we have a generation that's being brainwashed with this kind of garbage and this kind of crap to think that this is normal, and it's absolutely not. So here we go. Here we go. But do your search over on Free Space or do it on DuckDuckGo. Free Space is I've promoted Free Space numerous times. They're a great search engine, and they'll actually show you the real stuff. Because so much on Google, they just won't give you the right. Like yesterday, I was trying to Google some of the things that we were talking about. I wanted to see what their search results turned back up, the stuff we were talking about with the shooting. And as suspected, what I was looking for, you cannot find it on Google. So anyway, I'm not going to talk about what I was searching for because we don't want to ban this show too.
That's right, Chad. Good job.
Yeah, so we don't want to do it.
See, it sucks. I gotta tell you that you can't talk about certain things, and I gotta tell you, hey, and it's only because of YouTube. Rumble's great, X is great.
I have put a little more filter on myself in recent, probably in the last year, and again because I'm trying to grow this thing, and it's like I'll still tell you in person how I really feel. I do believe in free speech, but this stage in the game, unfortunately, we got to sort of play this game and you try to let people read between the lines. Fortunately, we've got an audience. We've got people that are watching and listening. I see you in the comments. You guys are smarter than I am. You're smarter than us. You guys put it together a whole lot quicker than I do. So I can sort of talk between the lines a little bit. You guys know exactly what I'm trying to say. But free space is, or what is that? Is it free space? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Free spoke?
Free spoke. maybe it's free spoke. It's I always get it bad. Yeah, it's free spoke. Free spoke. I misspoke. It's free spoke, not free space. But yes, thank you. I see the comment there, Striker J. It's free spoke. You're right. Anyway, yeah. Hey, Striker J, I didn't get that a message from you yesterday. So if you still got that link, send it over to me on Instagram at Watch Chat. What else we got? I'm chomping at the bits to get to that announcement I want to talk about. But
Well, I mean, this relates to that announcement. We got Rachel Maddow loses 43% of her audience, of her viewers since Trump won.
Yeah. Rachel Maddow, 43%. I saw that Morning Joe has lost their audience as well, which they pissed off the left as much as the right when they went and pandered to Trump. Rachel Maddow, I don't know, man, these people, just went away. These people really are feeling the loss in a lot of ways, but their key viewers, age 25 to 54, the drop is even worse. That's 56% of a decline. So, $25 million a year salary for a once a week show. But I'll tell you what that means. It means good things for us because at the end of the day, our shows, the podcast, being able to get on here and talk to people, that's become the media because we're telling you the real stuff. And you see behind the fourth wall, right? We have a set, we have audio, we do all those kind of things. But just because I'm in a hotel room in Las Vegas for a couple of days, we don't stop talking. We don't need the share, right? We can still bring you the information, that's coming your way. I still on Real Chad Prather on Facebook, that page, it used to be the old political cowboy, and Graham Allen does it as well. We post from, the trending news. We post those things and people say, we talked about it this morning. People say, they got this stuff that pops up like ads and things like that. Yeah, we understand that. That's how things get paid for. And, some of those little pop-ups can be annoying, but when we post those things, we really are trying to give you good. People ask me all the time, they're like, where do you get your news from? And, Real Trending Politics is one of the places. That's where I post on Real Chad Prather. And then, places like Town Hall, things like that. But you know where I get my news from? I get my news from people like you, Royce, and Graham Allen on the Dear America show, at 9 o'clock Eastern every morning. I really do, it's a fun way to get the news and to discuss the news and dissect it and break it down. And I think that's what podcasts are all about. Listen, Trump winning that's a podcast presidency, not pregnancy. Woo, that's a podcast presidency. If you can get pregnant doing podcasts, we're in trouble. But it's a podcast presidency. You can't take away the power of the podcast voice. And so
breaking news. Christopher Wray has just resigned as the FBI director.
Yeah. He gone. Thank God. He gone. I read that just a little while ago. Christopher Wray's out. So good. Get out of there. Let's clean out the room. We got Kash Patel to move in there. So
that's right.
Time to rock and roll. Time to rock and roll. All right. And we are putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to the mainstream media and the legacy media dying off. And when it comes to podcasting and being able to talk and get stuff in front of you, my dear buddy Graham Allen. Graham and I go back 10 years, and we have been really good friends, close friends. He's opened a lot of doors for me. I've opened a lot of doors for him over the years. We've really looked out for each other, and we've been good buddies. Now we're very different. We're very different. Graham is introverted. I'm extroverted. In real life, Graham kind of wants to be left alone. I like to be in the middle of people. I've always said that when I die, they're going to stuff my body and put me in a museum and say, this is Chad in his natural habitat at the cocktail party, right? So Graham ain't that way. Graham likes to get away from things and recharge. I like to be around people and recharge. And so we're very different in that regard, but we think the same, we believe the same, So Graham, we talked a couple of months ago and said, why don't we come together? Let's join forces. And so he graciously invited me to come in and co-host along with him and Royce and Tony and Todd on the Dear America show. There it is. And so we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to be on the show every morning with those guys, Monday through Thursday for now. And we're building a network. My show, I'll be pushing his show on my stuff. He'll be pushing my show. We're still going to do the Chad Prather show in the afternoon.
Yes,
Todd's got the hot seat. Graham and Tony are going to do another show where they go a little more in depth and talk about things like faith and just motivational, inspirational things. There's tons of plans coming up. So what we're doing is we're basically building a network. I think there's 6 shows now that will be on that Dear America network.
And growing.
And it's going to grow. There's going to be more. I think we've got a goal for about 10 different programs to be on there. And so it's exciting because we're joining forces. I think the essence of conservatism is not being a mile wide and inch deep. I think you come together and you conserve. You join forces. You put things together. There's no, between me and Graham, we're not going to be some ego-driven greed type deal. We're focused on boosting and building each other, and that's one of the reasons why it's been so great having Royce as my producer, and he's the producer for Graham. And it just works to join forces. So I will be part of the Dear America network and be on the Dear America show in the mornings, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. So I'm going to be talking even more than I've ever talked before. So going to be good stuff, Royce. I'm excited about it. I know we've got a lot of things in the works that are just going to expand and grow, and I think that we're going to set it up so our channels, we're going to be running a lot of content. And you want to talk about where you're going to get your news from, that's where it's going to be all day. The Dear American Network, it'll be all day. Somebody will be slated for a different hour. We'll be live. And so I know Graham had a big meeting with Rumble this morning. I'm assuming everything's positive. Graham's got a lot of favor when it comes to Rumble. So anyway, he kind of threw me under the bus for a little bit this morning. He made the announcement like I was coming in and they were kicking Tony out. And a lot of people were worried, saying that they were exchanging Tony for me, and I was like, "Oh, hurry up and tell him." But he and Tony are going to be doing a different show. So
yes, sir.
Anyway, it's going to be good. It's
all exciting. I'm excited to have you on the show. Every time you're on the show, it's a good time because you're just so funny. That's why I love doing stuff with you. You're just so funny, man.
It's funny, dude. It's funny, and I learn a lot from you guys. You do a great job of pulling out the content that needs to be utilized and used and spread. And Graham is always so full of energy. I mean, what you see on camera with Graham is not who he is in real life. He ain't always that energetic in real life. He's really quiet and a little more. We went to dinner in South Carolina last week and with his wife Alyssa, and Alyssa and I did all the talking. Graham just sits over there and chews. So that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So anyway, I'm excited about it. I appreciate everybody giving us the congratulations. It's a good move. It's a great move. We're not changing anything we're doing. We're just adding each other to everything. And so with the compounded social media forces that we have, as well as our reach, I think it's going to be huge. It's going to be exciting. Now, if we can just figure out how to monetize the darn thing and make some money, that'll be fantastic. But me, I've always liked to do things with other people, and doing it by yourself it's a dumb game when you've got other people that you can combine forces with. So here we go. But what we need to do is we need to make sure everybody's subscribed to this channel, the Chad Prather, Rumble, and then also the Dear America channel, Graham Allen. Make sure you search that out on Rumble. You could do it on YouTube too. But again, why are we giving Google the love, right? Why are we giving those overlords the love? I want to push everything we can to Rumble. Advertisers right now don't look at the Rumble numbers as lucratively as they do where audio podcasts are offered or where YouTube videos are. But I think that's changing. I think that's going to change because Rumble, Barstool Sports came over to Rumble, as well as Dan Bongino and so many others are over there, and they've really put them on the map in a big way. So I think it's exciting stuff. Anyway, cool. I'm reading some of you guys' comments in the deal here, and y'all are sharing different favorite cuss words and insults, and I wish I could say some of them sometimes.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, funny. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys to entertain me. I love it. Oh man! All right, I'm getting on an airplane. I'm coming out to see you, Royce.
Let's do it. Let's hang out.
We start tomorrow night. At Wesley Chapel at the Side Splitters Comedy Club, going all the way through the weekend. So get tickets and come on. And hang out with us. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. And check out the audio podcast. Leave us a rating and review where podcasts are offered. I want you to click like, click share, tell your family and friends about the Chad Prather Show. Tell them we're merging together with Graham's Dear America Network and the Dear America Network. We're taking over, baby. We're taking over. Don't go woke, and we're definitely not. I don't want y'all to go woke. I don't think there's any threat of that. Anybody listening to or watching this show right now, but
Because when you go woke, you go broke.
baby.
You go broke. You
broke.
just do.
So dear America, man, it's expanding, it's growing. We're all growing together. So I'm excited about it. What else, Royce? Did I leave anything out?
That's what we got. That's the show.
That's what we got. We quick, easy, down and dirty, to the point. 42 minutes. I like it. Good stuff. All right, guys, listen, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm humbled by you. Follow Royce Chamberlain. I called him Royce Cunningham. I know a Royce Cunningham, and I called him Royce Cunningham.
I've never met anybody else named Royce.
I know a few Royces.
That's crazy.
I've got several good friends that are named Royce. But Glenn Beck's executive producer and one of the hosts on The Blaze is Stu Bergier. People don't know this. Most people don't know this, but that's not his real name. When he went to work for Glenn Beck like 25 years ago, his name is Steven. And Glenn kept referring to him as Stu. And so it just stuck. And nobody had, like Stu, never had the courage to tell Glenn that he was using the wrong name. And so Steven Bergier became Stu Bergier. And a lot of people don't know that. So I don't want to get in the habit of saying Royce Cunningham. It's Royce Chamberlain. Royce Chamberlain. Chamberlain Media. Chamberlain Media. But follow him at Royce Chamberlain over on X. Follow me at WatchChad. And good stuff. I'm getting out of Vegas, baby. Getting out of Vegas.
Get out of there, man. Sin City.
Coming to Florida.
You've made enough chips, Chad. You've made enough chips. Get out of there.
I know. And Steve Helms, I gave him $200. I said, "Here's $200, kid. Go down to the casino and play cards while I'm finishing this podcast." So, rock and roll. And just another shout out while we're shouting people out. Follow my therapist, my buddy, my good friend Trevor Wilkins.
Viking
therapist. He's got some great content on Instagram. Check him out. If you're not following Bear Independent, my buddy TJ Morris with Refuge Medical, Bear Independent, check those guys out. Bear just gets on there and reads the Bible to people, and it's fantastic. He's got a huge community. And my girl, Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered, as well as the Come and Take It podcast. Check her out. I was just on the phone with her. I love her so very much. Y'all know how close I am to Sarah. I don't know what I'd do without her. I'd go crazy. But check out her show as well. We got a ton of stuff going on, man. But I love you guys. God bless you. Royce, thank you for everything that you do. Thanks, everybody, for all the birthday wishes. And appreciate you guys. Let's pray for each other. I'm praying for you. You pray for me, and it's all going to be good. And we will come back and talk to you with some more crazy nonsense tomorrow. We love you. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye.